we going live? Are we live? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I started without y'all. Welcome, welcome. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday afternoon. Let me shut this door right quick. There we go. Yes, I started without y'all. Go ahead and show you what I've done so far. I have been able to get some, using metallics today. I was able to get this pull. I am using a stamping method, not stamping, a kind of like with this, I'm stenciling and I'm using the pounce, kind of like a pounce on it type situation. And this is what I've got so far. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see it. There you go. I chose to use metallics today because I was just in a metallic mood. I kind of go with where, and this is the flop off from the stencil I just did. So here's the flop off on that. And I will be showing these again here at the end of the stream. So right now I'm waiting for this to dry to where I can put the pull color on there. And I'm thinking very seriously of going with warm beige. Warm beige. Well, I'm going to have to wait to see if this is dry enough because it has to be very dry. So acrylic has to be dry or it's just going to smear the snot out of it. I went ahead and used the Brayer on this stencil because it is one that I can do so with and it not mess it up. The other reason I am using the sponges on the rest of them is because they're hard to work with because they have pieces that'll come up. And it also means that I have to kind of wash them gentler and be a little more gentler with them as I'm handling them because they do have pieces that will snag paper or snag stuff. So I'm having to be very cautious with the stencils I'm using today. Hoping this will dry quickly. Hi, Miss Lisa McClure. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I started early today, but as far as live goes, I just started. So welcome. I'm glad you made it. I'm doing some stenciling on our gel plate today, and I'm waiting for this to dry to see if we can't get this pulled up. How are you doing, Miss Lisa? I am just sitting here waving this paper over it before I can making sure it's dry before I put any more color on it. Let me see, where's the darkest spot at? That's where I need to go check. Get my hands unread. When I did the flop off, I have red on my hands. Let me go ahead and get those off my fingers. You're not doing very good. I'm sorry, Lisa. Is there any way we can pray for you? What you need? Hands dry a little bit here. Go right ahead. Okay, Lord, thank you for being with Lisa. You know what's going on, and I don't need to. But be with her. You know her needs, and I know you're meeting each and every one. I thank you for everyone who's going to watch this stream come in, and for those who will watch it on replay. Be with them, guard and protect them, and make them be healed if needed and whole. In Christ's name, amen. Amen. All right, let's see if this stuff is dry enough to pull. That's dry. Okay. We'll give it a little bit more time. Just testing areas, and it looks like it's going to be okay. It looks like it's going to be okay for pulling. So I'm going to put this beige, this one beige on it. Actually, guys, pardon me, I may be doing this twice because a part of me really wants to pull this with black. You're welcome, Lisa. I won't pull this with black, but I will try it with the warm beige first, and then we will go to the black next time around. Oh, there's probably not enough there, so I will leave that there. Some of this may still be wet. Some of this may still be wet, and I do not want it to smear. Let's get y'all covered up. And what I'm using is I am not using metallics for my pulls. I'm using just regular acrylics. For anything that I'm using for pull up, I'm using all acrylics. I'm not using any of our metallics. Put that back over there with the other ones. There we go. This one here right quick. I can get it down. And the reason I have chosen to do the metallics in these colors today is because last week we worked on that journal that I put, or was it Monday? I can't remember. But we worked on a journal that had, let me pull it up right quick. What did I do with that little booger? There he is. Worked on this journal here. Here you go. Here's the front side of it. And I am doing the pages here to go on the inside of the journal to where it will go inside. And I also have some other pieces that I can use throughout the journal. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to get some workable pieces that are workable for me for the color tones that I'm wanting. I'm being fussy. I don't want to just use anything I want. I wanted something that I felt would really go with it well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making painty paper to go with that journal. I'm going to rub this on really good because that way it'll make sure and pick up that's the stenciling that I did. Let me get this taken care of here. Let me take a peek. Just take a little peek here and see what's coming off. Okay, it is trying to stick to the tray, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. And I'm going to go ahead and do another pull on this because I think we can get one more pull off this. Ooh, scrungy there at the end. Notice we got a lot of scrunch. Let me put it up here closer so you can see it. This is all just paint, dried paint, which is scrunchy stuff that we who do art journaling tend to love. So there's this one. I like how it goes. I think I'm gonna like the black even better, but I want to clean this gel plate before I do it. And see that, but it turned out really well. I am finding out that to do the pouncing, I have to go with a lot of paint. I'm gonna have to use a lot of paint doing that. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned off before we get any more. Excuse the squeaking. The plate is squeaking on me today. At least it's not my brayer that's squeaking. That really gets to me. I have to get it oiled if it starts acting out. Let's see. I'm going anything that needs to come off. Good little thing here. We have some bubbles in here. I was feeling those while I was rubbing it. I've got a big one right here that I was feeling while I was rubbing. And I'm not going, oh, you booger, little bubble, you. See if I can get rid of it. It did a little bit. It did go a little bit. Now we still, even though I have wiped this down, we could still get some of those, some pickup from those roses. But we will see, we will see. Let me think about this. I should have done a flop off on these roses, but I didn't because I didn't think about it. So it is dry on there, and that's okay. Let's see what I want to do. I have this here. I'm going to do these here. They will have to be put on I'm going to have to do it with my little pouncers because it's not going to do very well on with the roller. The places are just too small for me to even attempt. You've been watching since the stream fun. You're still not getting the steel plate. It's really fun, Lisa. You have to play with it. I'll be honest with you. You just have to play with it. Trying to decide what I want to do. Kind of, because I found that I wasn't putting enough paint on the flowers, and it wasn't coming. They're not coming off. The one thing about stenciling is you need to really keep your color as much as you can in those where it needs to be. Now I could use my brayer and brayer this in, and then put the paper down and really try to get it in there. But with these small little places, I don't think it's going to would show through. So that's why I chose to do it this way. I was scared, Lisa, when I first started. I was like, I am going to make a holy mess. What am I going to do with all this mess? And I mean, I had tons of things, but it's fun. And I didn't realize you've been watching that long, Lisa. Thank you, thank you. Let me get this here. Put some more of this rose gold in here. Here. And I would do the green, the leaves in the green, but more than likely, most of this is going to be done in the gold rose. So I'm thinking about just doing, I'm trying hard not to get in the leaves so I can go back with that festive green, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that because I'm such a slob. I just slob this in here. I enjoy this actually. Doing this way. The gel printing using the brayer and doing it that way is very relaxing. But I find this very relaxing too. Excuse me. Because all I'm doing is just dipping it in the paint and coming over here and bouncing it. Just bounce it on there. It's not hard to do. You know, if you're a perfectionist, then, you know, you may want to know that you're a perfectionist and it may take you a little longer because you're going to, you know, want to do things differently. But I have learned by using this technique, doing the gel printing, that you can't be a perfectionist. I mean, it takes a long time to be able just to do what I'm doing. You know, it doesn't take that long. This is newbie stuff. If you bring any more craft stuff in the house, he'll throw you out. My workroom, I keep everything in one room. And my husband comes in here and just shakes his head and leaves. Because it's so, and he's the same way. You know, us craft people, we tend to, We tend to, if something new comes out, we tend to want to have it, And I know that for me, I'm wanting to start investing in some more stencils and some more things to use on the gel plate as far as rolling it out. But PM Artist Studios has some gorgeous stuff, gorgeous, that I'm wanting, but I have to watch my spending because my husband is happening to be retiring next couple months, so we're having to really watch our spending until we know exactly what we're going to need and how things are going to run. So I can understand that. I just need to behave myself and not go absolutely over the tree. And I'm just going to dab this dabber on the little paper towel I have over here to get any excess paint off. I was using this same dauber for the green. I may go ahead and change since I'm using it more. Since I'm going to be using this in the green pretty much all day unless I change my mind, which is a good deal, is a possibility because I have some red over here that I may want to play with. I just pulled the ones I thought, well, I kind of like that color. Let's try that. There's some more leaves there. Let me see. There. Put this over here. No, that's pure habit. Me grabbing that brayer, that is pure habit. When I've got this gel plate out, that is pure habit. I'm not used to doing this. I haven't done this in a long time. Let me let this dry a little bit. I'll go into places that there's nothing around. Yeah, I'll say that as I get close to those roses there. Ooh, okay. I wondered what was going on. Let me throw this out. It has reached its limit. Let me get my wet wipe. Now you see how this looks? Let me show it. I don't know if I can show it to you. I grabbed me a new pounce, and they're old, and so you can see. Can you see where the grunge is on those from that pipe pounce? I don't like the looks of it. If it's in the leaf, I don't want it. So I'm going to go in here with my wet wipe and clean this up because it's not going to do anything but look more nasty as far as I'm concerned anymore. So let me get the junk off of it. I should have known. I should do a test before I put it on the plate to see if it's going to do nasty stuff like this, especially with these old ones. Especially with the old ones. There we go. Most of that off. We have a flat. Our concept is flat. The trailer doesn't have any upstairs, downstairs, and so I have a whole room. My room is 11 by. I have an 11 by 11 room, and it's packed full. I've got it, just jammed. Let me see if I can use this. I'm going to test it on this first and see if it's going to pounce or if it's going to fall apart, and it's falling apart, so it hits the happy trash can. Let's see about this one. Let me see. Yep, it's still the same thing. That's why you use stuff, girls. You have to use what you got. Use it or lose it. I'm learning. These I don't think will not pounce well because they are open more. So let's see if we can't get some green on this. There we go. 18, 16. Oh, you got a big room, Lisa. Wow. That's a bigger. I'm hoping when we move that I'll get a bigger room. I really do hope I'm getting a bigger room. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I mean, if it's the same, as long as it's the same size as this one, I will be happy. I just don't. My problem is I don't really know how to put my things away and where to put them to where I can get, because I want to be able to get at everything I got. You know, I want to be able to get at everything I got. That way, if I want to play with something, I can get it without any issues. My problem is most everything I do uses pretty much the same stuff. So I have a lot of stuff out. And then I go, okay, I need to clean this up because it's getting to be a nightmare. And so I do that. But my workroom has gotten to the point where I don't really have room for everything I'm doing. And I need to adjust, make some changes. But if we're hopefully gonna be moving as soon as we get the retirement thing situated, that we know, how we're doing and what we need to do. We're going to be moving, I believe. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we are going to do it. But so I'm kind of just trying to pray that it works out to where I'm not having to find places. I can just pack it up and we go. And then me find places in the new house. I can rearrange and hopefully get a bigger room and rearrange and get some stuff put where I want it. Is basically I have to put everything on the walls next to the wall because of me needing my wheelchair in here for me to work. I have to have the road. I have to have a clear path. I should say a clear path road, a clear path through the room. So I can, if I need something, I can zoom over there and get it. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'll say that as I find 2 more places I need to get. Let me get that there. Okay. Let me pounce this off. Get the sides good. I'm going to go ahead and set up a flop paper. I don't know how it's going to work, but we shall see. Let me let this dry a little bit. Let me let this green and this rose gold dry a little bit more because I just pounced that green. I don't want to go and pull it up too fast. And I almost did it. I almost pulled it up too fast. But let me get this to where it'll hopefully pull better. I am not pulling with any of my metallics. I'm using them on the with the stencils, but when I go to pull it off, I'm using one of my acrylics. This is true. You cannot make right turns. You have to go around. It's like you have to go, and then you go here, and it's a turnaround, and then you can go there and go left at a light, make a right, and turn there. It's weird. When I first moved here, Lisa, I was like, what the heck? You can't make any. I mean, I'm from Texas, and I'm like, you have left turn lanes. They don't. Now you can't. They really would rather you not. This is true. You don't pump your own gas. The roadways are crazy. The way you can't make any left-hand turns. I don't know. There's just a lot of differences. It took me a long. I've been here over 20 years, and it's taken me a long time to adjust to the differences from here to Texas. It's not as quick as New York, but it is a quicker pace. A little quicker, I should say, because I'm more of a homebody, so I really don't get out. But when I do, it seems very quick to me. Let me see if this is dry enough yet to. I'll go ahead and pull this, and then we'll let it dry some more. All right. That looks good. That looks real good. Let me flop this over here. And all I'm doing is turning the paint side onto this piece of paper. I'm going to rub it down my hands. And I will get paint on my hands, so you'll see me grabbing a wet wipe here. Got metallic all over me. Metallic paint. And I'm just leaving that to dry some more because it is still wet. Let me take this off. Did get a little bit of grunge. Let me show it to y'all on the flop off. So this isn't bad grunge, just nice grunge. What I'll do is I will keep this set aside, and then what I'll do is when I go to do another flop off, I will just flop it off on here also. That way we can have, if it's going to just show up grunge, then we can use that. No problem. Come here. You get me a wet one and get all the excess paint off my hand. Right in there. Baby wipes all won't come out at one time. Sorry about that, guys. Now, your metallics, using metallics, it's a little harder to clean as far as cleaning your stencils off. And the brayer, what I will be doing to clean my clean off my plate is putting a black acrylic over it and braying it in there on there, and then waiting, and then I'll get it done. I don't care. You talk yourself out, girl. Go for it. That's why I'm here. Stay away from I-17. I really don't know where that is, Lisa, but it's more than likely it's a jam. And you're done. You don't need to be not talking. Go for it, girl. I enjoy it. At least somebody's in here talking, saying something. Sometimes it's like somebody decided to put a silence on everything. Okay, put that over there in case I need it. Let me have this paper and dry this a little bit. I do believe that this picks up, this pencil right here picks up more paint to where it goes in well. It is made by Tulip. So basically it's doing what it was used to do. And the other little finger things are the same way. I only have one. It seems it's working. It isn't so old that it's not working. One good. Okay, guys, let's see if y'all are dry. I'm going to check you. Nope. That would be a no. You know what I'm going to do? Let me see if I have a place to set this. Let it dry, and I will pull out the other. Let me do that real quick. Thought that was there. Oops. I almost rolled over a container of water I had over here for stencils when we get done. This over here, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my 5x7. That way we're not just sitting here waiting for paint to dry. I haven't been to Chicago, so I wouldn't know, but it's interesting out here. Very interesting. Put this little one back up here so I know that's the first one up. Put this one up here. There we go. There we go. Let me find me a little stencil. Just use this on this one. There we go. Let me see if I can't get it centered a little bit. Again, I'm going to be using, actually, I am not going to be using this gold. I'm going to continue using the green for the greenery. But I'm going to go into a more of a red, a little festive red here. Let's try some of it. You don't like it there? Yeah, I haven't been to a lot of places. I've just kind of, you know, roamed around, but I don't really haven't been to a lot of places. Especially, I don't think I'd do well in a very busy place. It does nothing to want me to be there. I think I'm going to save this one for my green. Go ahead and get another one for my red here. Now, this is a bigger stencil, as you can see. So I'm going to be able to come in here and do the red, which I'm going to really pounce lightly because I really want more paint on here. I'm watching the greenery because I really would rather not have the red in the green, in the leaves and stuff. But I could already see a place where it may have happened. Let me get that off there. There we go. And then I'm just kind of moving the paint. I'm pouncing it. I'm not smearing it. I'm just tapping it on there. I want to make sure that I get all the rows, so I'm going around the edges, because that's where you're going to miss. You're going to not get paint for some reason. Is those little corners. There we go. I'm going to tap out any spare paint we got in there. Make sure I roll it. I'll put it over here. I'll come in and get the green. Come in here. Pounce there, pounce here. Let me get some more green on the palette here. I use, it doesn't really matter. I use Deco Arts acrylics. Acrylics are really basically what everybody uses. There's some that use, if you've ever watched PM Artist Studios, I would highly recommend you to do that. They're the ones that got me going. I found them online and started watching them, and they're the ones that really opened the door for me to do this, because I'd never heard of it or seen it done until I found them on YouTube. So these are all acrylics. You can use any acrylics you want. Like I said, I just like Deco Arts. Americana's good. Folk art. I've got some folk art metallics. Most of my acrylics are Deco Art. And you could just use whatever you got, basically. Yes, I can use a sponge tip. But this is sponge right here. This is all spongy tips. Let me show you something else you can do too. Let me get this paint in here right quick. Again, I'm having to make sure I get those edges. I've learned the more paint you can get in there, the better. But you're trying not to move the stencil, and you want to kind of keep it pouncing on top. Now, I'm using both of these are from Tulip. They're from Tulip, and they're just little things that you can use on stencils. And like I said, I'm using two because I'm using one for the red. Let me put this over here. One for the red and one for the green. And then I have this little pouncer here, the finger pouncer, that for the rose gold. But you can use these the makeup squares. You can cut them up and use them. So whatever you have, you can use. You don't have to go out and buy anything. This is good for little places too, or corners that you really want to get there and get it done. Works wonderful. I have a whole box of this sponge. What this is you get it wet and it expands. So what it does is when I use it with the paint, I just cut a piece off of it, and like you see, there's a piece of this cut off, and I just use it, and then I throw it out because I've got a whole box of them. They're, that's makeup sponges, and they're very, you go to the Dollar Tree. Oh, excuse me, the $1.25 tree. It, they're very low cost, so you can get stuff like that, and it work real well. Let me get this dried out a little bit. I want to dry a little bit to where it doesn't smear when I pick it up. When I pick up the stencil. So you want to sit there and let that dry. Go ahead and get this one off. This may be on the back. Is this on the back or the front of this one? I've got my other dead one there. What I'm going to do as soon as we peel off the stencil, I will set it, bring it over there where the other one's drying, and we'll switch them out. Yeah, get you a gel plate and some acrylics, and I'll let you come in on with me, and we can play. That'd be fun, Lisa. We could do that. You just got to have a setup to where you can have your camera. That's all you need. Have your little tip, your brayer, your gel plate, and acrylic. I have an acrylic that I put on the table and put the gel plate on to where it doesn't get anything on it, because it's real picky. You get anything on, then you don't clean it right, it just acts out. It just acts up. Let's see if this is ready to go. There we go. Ooh, it did real good. I'm going to do a flop off on this. I'll flop it over here, pounce it down with my hand. So I'll have paint on my hands. It's okay though. If you don't get dirty, you're not doing it right, is the way I figure it. You end up, no matter what you're doing, you're going to end up. There is no reason for you to be scared. Like I said, you just come on with me and we can do it together. I'll show you my beginner. I'll do what I did when I first started. I'll do one. I'll show you how I first started. Peel this. Oh, that did good. I was going to do this on the other one. I forgot. Look at this. Look how that turned out. And that's just from me flipping over the stencil and having what paint was left on the stencil. So that turned out really good, even for a flop off. Turned out real well. Put that over there. I'm going to let this dry a little bit, wash my hands off. Let me get this scrubbed up here. I know people who actually wear gloves when they're working. I'm sorry, I've got to be able to feel what I'm doing. So let me switch paint, let this dry. Switch things here. Put you there. Yeah, I did a lot better. There we go. And that is all dry. I'm going to go ahead and do a finger test. It looks like it's all dry. I think we left it there long enough. So let's pull it up. I'm going to try black. I'm going to pull it up with black and see if we can't get this on with black. Or do I want to use a brown? That's the one thing, is you got to think about what you're doing, because of the way it pulls. You have to realize that what I put on top of this is what's going to be in these empty spaces. That's what's going to be in the background, whatever you put on last. What I put on first is what's going to be on top. Does that make any sense? I'll show you on what we just did. Let me find one. Okay. Let me find the stencil so we can use it. Where'd that stencil go? This is not the stencil. This is the stencil I want. Okay. Here's the stencil. that I used for this. I did this in a red, I believe. I used red. And then I did this on the stencil with the red. Put it on there. Put it on here actually. Rolled it on. Then I flipped it over. I either pounced it or rolled it on. I don't remember which. And then I let it dry. And then I peeled this off, did a flop off. And then I put my paper down. But before, well, I got the flop off. Then I chose a cream color to go over it to pick it up with. And then after that dried, I pulled it up, and that's why all the cream color, you see the holes where the stencil wasn't. That's why it's all cream in the background. So you want to put on the plate bottom, like on this one. This has a rose and green on the bottom. This took me a long time, Lisa. I'll be honest with you. Took me forever to figure this out. And I still mess up. I will still mess up, get myself messed up a lot. Still do it. So let's see. Nice and dry. I'm going to pick you up. All right, if this black doesn't work, we will just call it a clean plate cleaning and go on. But I think it's going to work. I think. You know what? That's such a pretty print there that I don't really want to mess it up. Okay, I'm not going to. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this buttermilk on it. I talked myself out of it. Okay. Get the dry, crusty stuff off the top of the lid here. Then I'm just going to put this right along the edge here. I put it along the edge. I know people that would put it all over. I do it on the edge. I don't know why I do it. I just do. When I go get my broom, I'm going to gently roll this on. Pick it up here. And I may need some more paint. Roll it this way. And I need to roll it both ways to make sure that I'm getting everything. Because there's like I've got a bubble here. I'm going to try and get covered with some paint. Let's see if I can do it this way. Okay. Paint is drying really fast today too. So I'm having to really make sure that things are getting covered quickly. Okay. All right. Let's see what we get. You will press real hard, especially if you're using stencils, and you got to pick it up, because that has been on the plate. So you want to really push this in good to pick that up. You want this to dry, pretty much dry. And it was already dry before I put this down. So I'm not going to have to mess with it very long. Give me a drink real quick. Sorry about that. Let me rub this on. Edges. Let me do a quick check, see if it's picking it up. It is. Rub a little more, see if we can't pick it up a little more. And the nice thing about this too is, like you saw me just lift the corner. Yes, you can. I could use a different roller on this. Actually, I could use this one because it's pretty dry. And they have another piece of equipment. It's called a Baron, and it's used to rub with. I don't have one, but I'm thinking if I'm going to be doing a lot of stenciling and things like this, that I may invest in one, because you can get really in there with it. And it's what's used too to get, if you're just going to do it with stencils to make sure you get all your stencils done up. Let me see. Let me see how this turned out. Let's see, it's dried already. Come on, because it is pulling. I'm going a little slow because the paint is pulling. It's a little grungy. I may be able to get another pull off this, so I'm going to check and see if I can. Okay. And here's this one. There you go. So there's that pull. Now I'm going to see if I can get another one because that pattern, that stencil is still there. So I'm going to go with a little darker. I'll go with this warm beige and see if I can't pick up what's left. There we go. And you'll notice that I'm putting it, rolling it, picking it up, rolling it, picking it up. Because you don't want to really get in there and swirl it around. And if you have a lot of paint, your brayer will flat slide. It will slide. Let me see if I can get some more paint in there. There we go. There. Give me a quick piece of paper because this is drying so quickly. See if I can't get another print of this. Let's see if we get another pull. Yes, we did. Did we get some of that red? We got a little bit of it. It's more grunge, just leftover paint. But you can tell we got some of the green. We got some of that rose. A little bit of it. It's a shadow, actually. I don't know if you can even see the shadow of them. There's shadow. There's some grunge that it picked up off the plate. That's not bad. That's a good grunge piece. Put this over here. Some more grunge pieces over here. Let's get this other plate and see if it's ready to be pulled. Okay, here we go. We are. Here's this one. Whoops. Get out of the paint, paper towel. Get out of the paint. Now this one's really turned out real good for stencil. I got enough paint in there, and it really showed up well. Again, I am going to use a lighter. I'm going to use sand on this. It's a little lighter. It's not as dark as your warm beige sand or buttermilk. I'm thinking of going ahead and using the sand and pulling this up with the sand. What this is going to do is give me that background. It's going to be sand. And again, I'm picking it up and putting it back down. And then you can do side to side also if you're not getting the coverage you want. That's a lot of paint, so I'm going to go ahead and wear some of this off. There we go. There. another piece of paper. Lay that down there. Put that there. I'm just using the roller and roll it on. Have it pick it up good. Let's see how it adjusts. Okay. It peeled a little bit. Let me put this back down. Let me let it sit a little longer. I might have pulled too soon. Let's see. Let's go from back here. Okay, much better pull. The paint is pulling off. It's grungy because the paint is pulling off this, which means I let it dry probably too much. That's okay. But there it is. Turn it that way. There it is. She did. Well, I'm glad I did. I enjoy sending those out. So here's this one. It turned out really good. A little fluffies here, but not bad. It's going to be really nice to use. We do have some of the stencil still there. So again, I'm going to see if I can't pull that off with the lighter color. I used to say, let me try some beige. Let me see if this will work to pull it off. Or, no, it would disappear. Let me just try this. Get my acrylics over there so I don't confuse them with my metallics. Now what I'm doing this for is to see if I can, because the stencil was still on there, you could still see what the stencil was. You couldn't see the colors as well, but you could see the stencil. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is to see what we can pick up, if we pick up any colors or whatnot. And sometimes it will pick up even some other things from other stencils. I've had a stencil that kept on giving for a long time until it finally just, I cleaned the plate off, cleaned my gel plate, and it quit doing it. But even then, sometimes you still have the stencil is still showing a little bit. That's when you have to clean them. That's when you have to clean these plates. And all I use for cleaning is baby oil. Then rub it through, let it sit. Now, I know a lot of people let it sit overnight, clean it real good, let it sit overnight, and then come back and wipe it down. I have no patience for that. So what I usually do is I will use a wet wipe first when I go for normal cleaning, and then I'll use the baby oil with my hands, rub it in, and then I'll use a paper towel or something to wipe it off with, and it cleans up really good. But if my plates start looking, my gel plates start looking really grungy, then I will do the overnight process. Let's see what we got here. It did a good pickup. Oh, how pretty. Okay. Just get a little green that was left and some of the red. And then get this color so y'all can see it. Put it there. You see that we did get a little pinch of the red. I clean my as far as the gel plate goes, I use baby wipes when I'm working with it and I'm done. Like this was a good pull for cleaning. So for cleaning, that was a good pull off. And then what I do is use baby wipes and wipe everything else down. And then I put it away for the next time. But when I need to do a deep cleaning on it, then I will use the baby oil on it. And it don't take a whole lot. It just takes a little bit before of that. I do want to do a stencil. I want to do one stencil and using black to pick it up because I have to try it. It's just, I don't know. Let me see. I just have to try it. So we're going to just do, I'm just going to do a little pouncing around here on this center one here. I'll need to get me some more paint out. Okay, that's better. There, yeah, that's what I want. I'm just kind of pouncing around it because these flowers are really made just to be kind of what I'm doing, just going in a circle. So I'm just going to do this one flower on here. Like that. Put that there. I'm going to let it dry a little bit before I pull the stencil off. So depending on how it looks, the one over there looks, I may try to pull it with black also. Just for fun. Just to say I did it. See if this is ready to go. There we go. Did smear a little bit there on the edges, but not bad. I come in here and drop this off. Go flop off. There we go. Pull that up. That got us another print. A little grungy, but that's okay. What shall I tell you? There you go. That's just the flop off. That's from me flipping over the stencil and rubbing it. And it did leave another stamp on there for me. So I'll put that aside. I'm going to go switch things here. I thought I had something on this plate and I don't. That's good. All I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for the other one to dry, I'm going to go ahead and clean this one up and get it put away. Because I'm thinking that we've been at this about an hour, and I figure you just have had about all the fun you can, Lisa. If you want to play some more, I can do that. I just didn't know if you had already gotten tired of watching me play with paint. I don't get tired. I get to the point where if they're doing something, I want to do it too. So that's why when I watch sometimes other people, I'll be doing the same. I will be painting. I wouldn't do the same thing they're doing, but I would be using my gel plate too. You can learn different techniques from different people. I know I've picked up a few things from different people. Just watching them. Another one to watch is Carrie the Crafter. He puts things in perspective for newbies, and he's very easy to watch. He makes things, puts it out very, very, to where a newbie can pick it up very quickly. He has tons of videos. Dang, you're squeaking loud today. Get this cleaned off good. There we go. Go ahead and put this one away. Let's see if this is my little one or my big one. Go ahead and put this one away. Get it. Well, there went off. Glad I shut all the lids. Goodness. There we go. Okay. Let me put this here. Put this acrylic up here. And then put my big one up there. And I'll keep this one down for the little one. Let me put it over here. Let me get ready to play with that. Get this little one. There we go. I do want to do a test to see if it's dry, and it is not. So I will let this be. Let it dry a little bit. I'm going to try to clean up the acrylic that's on. One thing I will say that for the acrylic, it's hard to clean. Even if you try to get it right after you've done the painting, this stuff is hard to get clean. You have to scrub it to get it off there. And even then, it didn't want to come off. And the fun thing is, a lot of people, Lisa Mingus is really bad. She her gel plates can get really rough. Where I like to keep mine kind of on the neat side. Some people, they just keep going until you can't do anything else with it but clean it. I do that too, but I also like to keep them semi-clean. So I'm going to let this dry a little more. I thought I'd let it have enough time to dry being over there, but we didn't do much in a way with the other one, so just did a few pulls. While we're waiting on this to dry, we can kind of look through some stuff. I'm going to set this aside. Let me pull it up and set it on the table. I'm going to show y'all something. So let me get this pages that we did so far put aside. I'm going to put this aside next to the stencils. And I'm going to get me a piece of paper. I'm going to set it right here. I'm going to clean these stencils. Now you look and see what side. Now you can tell that this is where I put the paint on. You look and see what side you put the paint on. You put it up because that's why you want to clean it. And I'm going to get me a wet one. And you're going to rub it like this. Rub it just like that in circles. And what this is going to do is give you, it's going to clean your template here, your stencil, but it's also going to leave you, got your stencil clean, it left you a print. Okay, now my stencil's clean. There's nothing on the stencil. It's clean. So I don't have to clean it later. Come over here, put this one over here. I don't know if metallics will do the same. Let's see. It may just be that you have to scrub them off. Let me see. No, I'm not going to be able to do it on this. It's already eating through the paper. So the metallics aren't good. They kind of go through the papers. But if you're using pure acrylic and you're not using metallics, you can do what I did on this one. I don't know how it happened because I used metallics on it also. But you can do that and you'll get a shadow of what you did. So the next time I come on, I'll use acrylics and I can show you the different stuff. Let me go ahead. I'm going to keep this here and go ahead and clean this while we're waiting for that to dry. Get these stencils cleaned up. I'm sure it's wonderful to watch me do this, but that's okay. We can talk amongst ourselves. Now some of this metallic is coming off. It is coming off a little bit, as you can see right here. So I don't know what it's going to do. I've watched many people, but I hadn't seen them use metallics. So that's why I wasn't sure if it would work or not. Because you really got to get in there and scrub these metallics. I'll have to, when I go to clean my brayer off, I will have to soak it. Actually, since I'm not going to, well, I am going to use it, so I don't do that. I will have to soak it in my wet water over here, which I may not have needed since I'm cleaning these here instead of in the kitchen where I usually clean all my stuff. I have a bucket of soapy water right here on the floor next to me that if I were doing more stuff, I would just drop these stencils if I wasn't going to use them anymore. I would drop the stencils in that soapy water and let them soak. That way they're easier to clean. Metallics, I don't think it matters one way or another. They're just metallics. Just, they don't want to play nice is what it is. Metallics just don't clean up easily. They clean up, as you can tell, but you have to use it a little more push on it. Put that over there. Find another clean place here. I use this whole thing. And I use this whole thing. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm just going to kind of scrub on these a little bit to see if I can get some of it off. Now, another thing is the way I pounce these is because, let me see if I can show you. This stencil, I'm going to have to gently rub in the water because you see these little things. Let me show you. These little things right here. When you're scrubbing, they get caught when you're scrubbing. Do I save my papers? Yes, I do. When I'm through, I have a whole box, a large, it's a large prepaid UPS box, the postal service box for UPS, and I have a large one that's prepaid, and it is almost full. It's about halfway full. I went through it, but it's full of papers that I save, and then I'll cut, like with the papers we made today, I will cut some of them up and use them. The reason I'm doing this today is because I'm using it in a journal that I needed these colors for. So that's why I did what I did today. I wanted the metallics and I wanted the roses. So that's what I did. That's how I chose what I was doing today. Yeah, I'm going to have to scrub on these. Okay. Already tell. Like I said, because of the little pieces, they're harder to scrub and they're very easy to get messed up. And a lot of people are very selective about their stencils. When I bought this one, I just liked it because it's roses. I enjoyed it because it was roses, and that's why I got it. If I'd have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have got it. I would have got something different because they're so hard to clean. And you don't want to mess them up because it really gives, it leaves a good looking. But it is what it is. Let me see if I can't get some of this off. And if it gets too bad, if it gets really bad, I'll just cut them off. And there won't be any of these separators on the leaves, because that's what it is they're separators. Those little things that are poking that stuff. I may have to cut them off. And then I'll be able to use it better, clean it better, and use it better. Alright, I'm already tired of dealing with this one. This one's going in the bucket. Let me see if I can do something with this one. Let me see if I can get some of this to move. Well, a little bit. Let me get a new piece of paper. That one went in the trash because it was wet and had torn pieces on it. I know people that would have had a fit if they saw me do that, but they can have their fit. I already put it in there for me. Like I said, I'm just scrub on it and going on. I'm not doing one pass. I'm not going to stay in one place because of doing that. I got a hole in my paper. So I'm going to scrub there, pick it up. I did get the shadow, as you can tell. I'll know more about what I got after it dries, but it looks like it did pick up a lot of the red, which I'm enjoying a lot. It really did good. Let me put you over here. Now go ahead and drop this in the bucket. Get you close back up. Alright, let's see if this booger's ready to do something. I'll go ahead. I'm going to pounce these on here, get all the excess paint off of them. I'll do the same here. What I will do is I will drop them into the bucket also, and that way I can clean these off and hopefully make them last longer. Go. I'm just doing cleanup, making sure that I want this dry really good. So I'm just doing a little cleanup. There. Now I am going to use the black for pickup. Dang, what is going on? Okay. There we go. This may be too much paint. I'm not sure yet. We will see. Go right through the center. Right here. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up some more paint. This is a little more paint than I need. The thing is you want to let this be just a thin coat over it. Is what I'm finding. I may be totally doing stuff backwards. I don't know, but I have found that it works for me. Now, for me, I do keep my roll-offs, my Abrera roll-offs, because I have seen people do some beautiful stuff with this right here. And it's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to put it over here this time around because it's going to be going in the bucket. I'll get this on here. Let's see. Alright. Got 2 pieces of paper. Ooh, we got a wrinkle. Dang it. Let's see if I can get that out. Okay. Let's see how it picks up. Ooh, pretty. Now I wish I'd done the other ones in black. It's okay though. Let me put this up closer so y'all can see it. So that turned out really well. I really like how it turned out with the black. So that's how that turned out. Let me go ahead and set it aside. Go ahead and do a wipe down on this one and get it put away. And we'll do a flip through of all we've done today. What kind of prints we got done today. Sorry about how noisy that is. And actually, if you look at it, after me cleaning it off with the black, all it left was the edges of the black. It's not going to be hard. It's not hard for me to clean off or anything. I'm just popping it down, making sure there's no crumbs on it or anything. Let me see, what did I do? Let's get this over here. Get this gel plate in here. Safekeeping. Let me go on this plate. Put this up here. Get my acrylic back up here. Whoops, sorry about that, guys. Go. You can do a run through, see what all we got. Some pages. Y'all did see this one. You saw that one, so I will set it aside because it needs to dry. It needs to dry a little more. Set it aside. Here is a flop off from one of the other ones. This is another pull after we done the flop off and the original print. That was another print. And all these will be saved. I'll be saving all of these because I can use them in different things. There's that one. Here's another flop off. That stencil. Here's this one. Here's this one. Here is the flop off of the stencil. Here's this one. Oh, this one. Here's the stencil here. Now these I did before I came on. So this one was what I did before we came on. I was playing, just kind of messing around trying to get the feel of the stencils again, since I hadn't worked with them in a while. All I needed to do on these was to make sure that I had more paint. I just needed more paint on these. That's why this one showed up, because it had a little more paint. Let me put this like that because the light is showing. So basically what I needed on these for them to show up like the other one did is to add more paint. That's all. And that's all we have for today. And that's a lot. I mean, you're going to use a lot of paper, Lisa, when you're doing this. You think, oh, good night, I'm using so much. You will. And I have been told, PM Artist Studios always says that you're really not going to get the hang of it until you've done about 1,000 prints. About 1,000 prints, and then you're getting the hang of it. So, you know, don't think if you're using so much paper, because I'm still getting the hang of it. I don't think I've done, that many pulls. So, there you go. Thank you for hanging out with me, Lisa. I've appreciated it. I've enjoyed our discussions. It's been fun. And I will see y'all Monday to see what we can do then. I don't know what I'll be doing. We got a weekend to figure that out. Love y'all. Watch us on replay. Put those thumbsy upsies. I need them. I don't know what it does, but hit those like buttons. Let me, let them know that people were here. Thank you. Hugs, Lisa. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope everybody on replay does too. Bye now.